welcome to another Checiegirl Creations DIY video. So today I will be making another video showing you how you can use the March Mixed Media subscription box, and this one is the memory journaling. And today I will be doing that, memory journaling. And if you would like to see what the contents of the box was exactly before I used it the first time, and all of the contents is on this card here, please do follow the iCards in the top right hand corner and you can see the unboxing and creating video. And I'll show you what I created in the unboxing video. I did this quick sketch as well as this journal page, or art journal page more like. And again, please do follow the iCard to see how I did that. So on this page, the only thing I used that didn't come in the box was stuff like glue and a white pen. And because today I want to kind of document, my friend and I went to Million Women's Rise March, and I wanted to have the colors that we use, so I'm going to include some red paint. And this is by Scrapbook, and you can use any other acrylic paint. And then I'll be using the contents of the box, and I think what I'll do is use my prompt card to kind of make the background that I want, and then I'll kind of wing it from there. And the other things I want to use for sure is some of the frames in this pack. There's some Polaroid frames, and some of them are craft cardstock and some are white. I might use one of the Project Life cards, I'm not too sure, probably one of the small ones. I might create a tip-in. And I'll definitely be using some of the matte paper, because the sheet that I got has London in it, a small part of London. Let me see, here, because the march was in London, so I could use that bit. And then I'll also be using some of the stickers I got in the box as well. Oh, and this card, you get this card when you get your Mixed Media subscription box, and this links straight to the unboxing video, just in case you were wondering what that was. Yeah, so I'll also use the sticker sheet that I got, because I'll show you. It has a train in there, because we use a train to get to London. And then it just has a few different stickers that I might include there as well. So I will put this into fast forward mode, and I will do a voiceover for the video so that you know what I'm doing. Yeah, oh, and I'll also be including different photos that we took, and some kind of keepsake things that we collected during the march. So I will put this into fast forward mode, and I'll be back when I'm done. Okay, so I'm going to start off by shuffling my prompt cards, and the first one I pulled out is Apply Chalk Primer. So I'm going to use a brush for this to apply the chalk primer just randomly around the page. So I'm not going to cover it perfectly, since the page doesn't really need priming. I find that with these pages, they don't really need an extra layer to take all the wet medium and stuff. It does warp a tiny bit, but once you put it to flatten out, it's fine. And then the next one I pulled out was to add some texture paste. So I'm using the glass bead gel, but if you don't have glass bead gel, you can use any other kind of texture paste. If you had gotten the June one, you could use that texture paste as well if you don't want to use the glass bead one. And I'm just kind of adding that with my fingers, and now I'm just going in with some more chalk primer in the middle. I found out there wasn't enough. So now the next card I pulled out was Sketch or Doodle Something. So off camera I made sure that my page was very dry, because I didn't want to get it clogged up with any chalk primer or glass bead gel. And that's the brush pen I'm using there, just to add a few different marks I didn't really have much of a plan of what I wanted to add, so I was just really just adding random doodles. Most of that kind of gets covered up though by the time, especially those crosses, by the time I add all those photos and stuff. I should have probably put that to like the edge a little bit more. And now the next one is add washi tape or masking tape. So I'm going to use the washi tape, and I didn't use that in my last art journal page. And what you'll see is that the washi tape has the same kind of images as the stickers that you get. So that's really cool. And then that's like two things that coordinate with each other. So I'm just adding it in a few different areas. And I don't think it liked the chalk primer, which actually a lot of washi tape doesn't like to stick to chalk primer. So I'll just have to like add some glue on top of that in a little bit. And then that one said add paper elements, which is like die cuts and stuff like that. But then I don't know, it's like I got kind of confused and just decided to add deco paper, which isn't what it told me to do. So I'm just ripping off some strips, and I did cut out a flower out of that sheet, but in the end I didn't end up using it. I thought I might use it more to the end, but I changed my mind, so I can just use that maybe for the next page. And so I just stuck to the strips of paper, which will glue down with some tacky glue and PVA glue. So you can see I have the strip of paper there, and I'm just putting that in a few different areas. And there's my tacky glue. And then I use some PVA glue to make sure that that washi tape stayed down. And now I'm going to use one of my squeegees to like smush all the glue down and stick everything down. And then I will dry that off camera using my heat gun. So now this one says use tools to apply paint, and it says no paint brushes. So I thought I would use my fingers to apply the paint. So I'm using that red, and that red is like a pinky red. And then I'm also going to use the pink that came in the box. Well, that came in my box. We all get different acrylic colors. So I've added it heavily in some areas, then lightly in some others. Just kind of smushing it there, just trying to add some texture and stuff. And then now this one says use a stamping tool. So I'm going to pull out my Memento stamp pad that comes in the box. My date stamp, and that is my date stamp. You guys don't get a date stamp looking like that. That's the one I'm using since I already had one. I figured I won't bother to dirty the new one. And I put it on to the 10th of March because that's when the March was. And I was just stamping that randomly just to add some like visual texture. And now I'm using that Dreamcatcher stamp, which is too big for the stamp block. So I'm using my squeegee to stamp that. And I'll also use one of the little star stamps as well that comes in the stamp set. But I'll use the stamp block with that. So you can see the stamp block's kind of small, which is why I use my squeegee. And the Memento stamp pad as well as the brush pen are permanent. So once they're dry, they won't get moved by water, which is really cool. But you have to make sure that they're properly dry, because at one point you'll see that I did smudge some of the stamped images because I didn't make sure it was dry. I should have heat set it with my heat gun. So now this one says apply acrylic paint, and I figured since I had already done some acrylic paint with my fingers, I would just use my paintbrush. And I wanted to like add more of a wash than like thick layers of paint, so I'm just going in with the brush. I've watered down the paint quite a lot and just going in and filling in the white areas. And I'm using both the pink and red again. And I will add some green highlights as well, just to kind of break some things up with my finger in a little bit. There we are. So I'm just adding some green dots. I thought it would be interesting just to add a contrast in color. And now the next one is add a fabric element. So that's ribbon, doilies, or like gauze or anything like that. So the gauze that came in the kit, I'm using that. And I'm just trying to figure out where I want it, which is why I've pulled out the Polaroid frames. Just trying to see where I'm going to place everything now. And I'm going to use quite a lot of PVA glue. I probably went a little bit overboard, but I really wanted to make sure that was stuck down because it is like fabric. And normally I would use something like matte medium to stick it down, but I wanted to show you guys that you don't need anything like too expensive to use things like gauze. So I'm just using my PVA glue. And you can see I've just distressed the gauze a little bit by like pulling at it and stuff, just to add a little bit more texture when I stick it down. And then I will heat set that thoroughly before moving on. And the camera shut off, so you missed me like placing everything and finding out where I wanted to put everything. And I had printed out some images off camera as well, using my computer. And now I'm just edging everything with that stamp pad. Oh, and I also cut out like the little like London part from the matte paper. And I tried stamping the date on that Polaroid frame, the big one, but it didn't stamp very well. So I just did it on like a piece of scrap paper and stuck that down with some double-sided tape. And then I'm also sticking down that London thing with the double-sided tape as well. So I wanted to use that sticker, as you recall from the beginning of the video, with the train, but it didn't really look right. So you'll see what I do to solve that in a little bit. But now I'm just sticking everything down. And you'll see me make a little bit of a mistake. I should have really secured the frame properly to the photos. Oh, I'm just stamping the date that I did this page on. I should have stuck the frames onto the photos properly, but I didn't do that for some reason. So you'll see me kind of like having to try to figure out how to like keep everything stuck down, waiting for it to dry, because I knew it would, but I just had to wait a little while. So you'll see me just adding some extra tacky glue underneath the frame, so you can see that it's not stuck down. On the small one as well. And to also speed things along, I will add more washi tape. And you probably noticed, but I'm not following the prompt cards anymore. I pretty much use all of them, and I didn't want to like add too much layers now and not make it look right. So I was just using this eyeballing and seeing where I needed to add more. And because this washi tape is the same as the stickers, I was able to get a piece that had a train on it. So I put that at the bottom of the small Polaroid, and now I'm just using a brush and some PVA glue to make sure everything's stuck down, the washi tape, the photos and everything. Since I hadn't stuck everything down properly, I don't know why I did that. Especially since there's just so much texture on the page already, especially from that gauze. So I'm just making sure it's all stuck down, and I'll dry that off camera again, just after I add some more paint. So I'm just adding more pink. I don't know if, did I add red? I think I just added pink. I just found that there was some there was just too much light areas. Oh yes, I am adding some red to the page. So I just wanted the photos to pop out a little bit more. And I'm adding a little bit more green as well. So I'm going to heat set that off camera again. And then I'm going to add some detailing with my Uniball Signal pen. You saw me write over like the words I wrote as well using the brush pen just to make them stand out a little bit more. So I'm just adding some highlights to some of the elements on the page, so like that Dreamcatcher stamp, some of the washi tape. I'm just trying to make everything blend in now and look like it's part of the page, not that I stuck it down. And I'm also adding some darker areas using my brush pen, just to like ground everything, because like the black ground stuff and the white adds highlights and makes everything pop. So that's pretty much everything. If you like the video, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and please do click that bell icon so that you get notified whenever I upload a video. And yeah, there are still a couple boxes available to order, so please do follow that link in the description to my Ticktail site where you can get your very own March box, as well as some of the previous boxes which I will link below. So thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please join me again for another video. Bye!